So today I saw a man die. I actually sat and watched an individual, a being, human being, or really spiritual being living a human experience, ending his experience and actually taking his last breath. I saw every single last breath. Now, if you don't know, I also work as a hospice nurse, and that job entails helping people, being there emotionally, being there physically, being there to support people as they transition, right? And they are suffering from a terminal illness that they have less than 6 months to live. And so my job is to be there as support for the family, for them, the patient, and to be of any service that I can be. Now, usually I can easily identify when somebody is truly transitioning and in the process of transitioning and giving the family and the care, giver the insight as to exactly what they need to look out for, right before this person transitions. But this is one of the first times where I actually was there to witness the actual transitioning itself, the actual expiring, right? The actual passing away of a person. Now, I didn't have a rapport or a relationship, what have you, with this patient. But when you are in this field of hospice, for me personally, there's a deep connection I instantly have with a person who is on this journey, at the end of their journey in this physical realm. And the reason why it's so dear to me is because I see it as them going through the process, right? Taking the passageway, the gateway into actually joining, right? Rejoining with the collective or grand consciousness or the universe, even God, right? Is as if they are rejoining with God to present, to give their knowledge, insight, experience, right, to the collective, to the universe. And so you may have seen a few of my videos where I talk about you being an individualized expression of that which we call God. And that you are here to have a particular experience that God wanted to have, that the universe wanted to have, and therefore has created you, right? You are a expression of that desire, that intention. And your job here is to actually fulfill a purpose, fulfill a particular prophecy. And that prophecy is determined by your passions, what it is you believe, what it is that you desire truly, right? And so when you actually fulfill those desires, then you essentially achieve the prophecy, you achieve the purpose. But many of us, unfortunately, don't fulfill our purpose. We don't fulfill our passions. We are distracted by what society says we're supposed to do, what we're programmed to do based on our parents and what have you, in those limiting belief systems. But it's imperative, please, that you understand that though 100 years can be something that in retrospect or in, relatively speaking, can be long, it's really short. And we really don't know how much time we have. We don't know if we have 100 years here on this earth. And so what I want you to understand from this message, and something that I personally experience over and over and over again with my patients, is that you can't take it for granted. You have to recognize that your objective here, your mission here, is to fulfill your purpose, is to achieve those desires. And I know we get caught up when we think our desires are too shallow or superficial or too materialistic. But what I want you to understand is that there are still gateways, there are still pathways which will lead you to your grander, right? More pure desire. You have to trust in your process. Don't second guess yourself because you think that, oh, this desire I have to create $1 million is too shallow and therefore it's not something that aligns with my spiritual journey. It all aligns with your spiritual journey. You know, even for me today, something different happened for me when I experienced this band transitioning, because usually what I take from it is a sense of gratitude for my life, a sense of gratitude that I still have time, that I still have this very moment. But then I had to question and ask myself, or even come to a realization that maybe there's more that I'm to take away from this. Because I was there sitting, watching each breath as they were diminishing from this man's body. I had to sit and humbly just be reverent and respectful to this process as he was going from one reality into another reality. And I realized that bowing my head in respect and honor might not be enough. Being grateful, right, for my own life as a result of what I'm experiencing as these people transition is probably not enough. So I had to ask myself the question, what more could I do? What more can I do to honor my fellow beings, right? And it leads me to an interesting space right now where, one, we have to understand that just simply chilling, just simply watching social media, scrolling, watching movies all day and night might not be what you're meant to do here. And so I know it's not what I'm meant to do, because even when I'm watching movies or even when I'm scrolling, I'm still doing proactive work. You know, I have two phones. When I'm on my phone, I have my laptop on and I'm working. Sometimes I have a movie in the background and I'm just listening, but I'm still working. Rarely do I ever allow myself now the time to just be distracted, because I know how important my presence here is. And I want you to know how important your presence is here. Don't take it for granted. Don't belittle yourself. Don't think that you're not chosen for something great, because you are. But you just have to follow the guides, the guidance, the signals, the messages, the clues. Those are your desires of everything that you think about and want. Those are going to lead you, right? They're going to lead you to the path that you're meant to be on, to the path of enlightenment. And enlightenment doesn't look like the same thing for everybody. And it doesn't have to look like you just meditating and having butterflies flying around you and birds chirping and you with a, smile on your face. It looks like you actually making a difference. You actually inspiring people. You actually making connections with people. You actually supporting people by being a person who is authentic with themselves, a person who understands their value, right? A person who understands that we are connected, we are one. So it is our responsibility and in our best interest to take ownership of who you are, to live the life that you want to live. So that way, when it's time to transition, you can pass away the way you want to. You see? Because this man, from what I understood, he lived a life of, just grandiose kind of spirit, where he loved to party. He loved to do all types of things and get involved in all kinds of things. But unfortunately, when it came time to him, transitioning, he didn't have a lot of people by his side. He had his best friend, he had his ex-wife, and they weren't there at the very moment of him passing away. I was there, a complete stranger. Now, that says a lot, and it's not good or bad, but it tells you that one, you never know what kind of impact you're going to be on somebody, especially to the very last breath. Because this man, whom I did not know, I did not have a single conversation with him, just exchanged a few words, just helped him, transition from moving to the bathroom into the bed one day. And, still he impacted me in a very, very profound way. And he allowed me, somebody who teaches spirituality, somebody who identifies with a gift to be spiritually connected and aware, to broaden my awareness, And so I just wanted to share this brief message with you and experience with you because I think it is so significant that you recognize, one, you never know, right, how somebody is going to impact you. You never know how you're going to impact somebody else's life. You never know, like, how life is going to all lay out, right? In details, in nuances. You can determine the big things, but you have to take ownership of your life and you have to recognize you don't have as much time as you think. And tomorrow is definitely not promised. The moment is. And so in this very moment, I want you to just simply recognize who you are, love yourself, accept yourself unconditionally. And every moment that is here for you, you make sure that you're aligned with your desires, your passions, and making sure that the experience that you desire to have here on this planet Earth is one that happens, at least one that you are actively pursuing, intentionally living from moment to moment, that you are embodying that very essence. Even if $1 million isn't in your account, you damn sure should be acting like it is. Even if you don't have the love of your life to come home to every night, you are the love of your life. So you are going to be in love with yourself. Even if you're not the healthiest when it comes to going to the doctor and getting a physical, you're going to walk into and be the healthiest version of yourself in this very moment. You see? So take ownership of all of those things, all of those desires, all of those aspects of reality that you feel like you're grasping at or reaching for. Don't reach for it. Don't chase it. Just simply be it. And that will carry over into the next moment, and maybe the next day, maybe the next week. And every experience you have moving forward will be one of joy, happiness, and excitement. But most importantly, gratitude. Gratitude for yourself because you took ownership of every moment, and that carries over into the next moment. And so I just wanted to leave you with this message, and I hope that this experience in some small way influences you, supports you, reminds you as much as it has reminded me. All right? So please, this is your life, yours and yours alone. So take ownership of it, live it the best way possible, and who gives a damn what everybody else says? Peace and abundance always.